Hey, it's Webs here, and after a week break from Mercenaries, I'm here with another Mercenary build, which was actually inspired by a build that I had matched up against when I was testing out Shadow Beasts, and the comment that was left in the comment sections of this video by Kit Cup, who believed that Shadow Holy actually works if they were fully leveled up. So I decided it would probably be a cool, interesting build to try to actually level up myself, but given some personal circumstances, I was not able to finish the build within the time frame for last Friday. However, I do think I've done enough testing with each individual unit and some additional units to actually give a good oversight in the deck, and I will agree with what Kit said that the counter to this strategy is definitely Shadow Beast, which is why I ended up including King Mukla as a mercenary in this build. The nice thing about this build is if you have Zyrilla, which you should because she was one of the beginning units, this actually will allow you to farm the Felwood level that takes double damage from holy spells through the use of Velen, Anduin, and Zyrilla, thus allowing you to get a lot of coins for Anduin in particular, and also level up any additional units that you need for future builds, which is what I ended up doing. So there is some added benefit to actually trying out a holy build. With that being said, let's discuss why I chose each individual unit and some other units that I had considered over the course of testing this build. The first unit for the build is Vol'jin. This is kind of like the cornerstone of the holy part of the build, as it allows you to scale up the damage from Anduin through Volin's Blessing, while also providing good sustainability through Holy Blast, and Splitting Light allows you to have some AoE outside of Holy Nova from Anduin. But honestly, I would probably say Splitting Light is the ability that you're using the least. The ability that I would level up first is of course the Volin's Blessing, just because this will be your scaling factor. And for equipment, Vol'jin actually is pretty balanced on that front. All three equipments actually do some type of job, and depending on which type of build that you're actually facing consistently, you might want a different equipment for Vol'jin. The one that I settled on was Tome of Inspiration, just so you have more survivability, and sometimes you'll be able to keep your King Mukla alive for later into the game than you normally would. If you want more damage, Blessed Shard is really good, and if you know your opponent's going to instantly try to go after the Vol'jin after they kill the big brother from Mukla, Potion of Light is actually incredibly strong, but A, too lazy to kind of level this up, and B, I didn't see the worth of this over the Tome of Inspiration, to be honest. The second unit is Anduin, who is the cornerstone of your actual holy damage that you do within this build through the use of Holy Nova and Penance. While you don't rely too much on Penance, which is why it's not fully leveled up, Holy Nova allows you to do a bunch of AoE in combination with Volin's copying ability from Volin's Blessing. Ring of Purity is also the go-to equipment for it, which is great because it's only a task 2 equipment, and that means you don't have to grind out that much. And it greatly increases his survivability, which allows you to actually keep him out on the board for much longer, and thus allowing you to stall out against some annoying builds if he actually survives. If you have to choose between leveling up equipment or leveling up abilities for Anduin, he actually kind of makes it pretty easy, especially for this build at least. Holy Word Salvation is something that you never need to level up, which is great because you don't have any other humans. Holy Nova is the skill that you're going to focus on leveling up first, and I would prioritize this over the Ring of Purity, but after you level up Holy Nova completely, Ring of Purity is probably your best next option, and then finally you try to level up Penance, which is why mine's not fully leveled up since he's the only friendly human, and thus you'll always heal Anduin with Penance. But it does give still a nice chunk of damage by itself, so it is useful to try to level up it a little bit. The third unit that I'm using in this build is King Mukla, which is a return from a previous build, the Shadow Beast build. This allows you to have a turn 1 taunt on the board so that your Vol'jin or Anduin don't get target focused by all the Shadow Beast builds that are actually running around now. The equipment for King Mukla in this build is the exact same as the last build, which is his big brother, and the whole reason why you're running King Mukla in this build, even though it's not a Shadow or Holy unit. The important spells to actually level up for this build are either Dinner Time or Banana Frenzy. Primal Power has no use in this build for the most part, unless you're Big Brother can somehow survive a turn, but it usually doesn't, so you usually don't have to rely on that. If you still need a taunt on turn 2, Dinner Time is usually the best ability to use, which is why you kind of want it leveled up a little bit, since it does get faster each time you do level it up. But for the most part, you're really feeling with Banana Frenzy, which is just his base ability. And there's not really much else to say about King Mukla. You can actually kind of replace him with any other unit that can give himself or herself taunt on turn 1 or 2, because that's the entire purpose of this unit in this build, and it serves as a way to deal with some of the green units since you're running a bunch of blue units, and this will do double damage. For leveling up for King Mukla, you are going to want to focus on the equipment first, which I think this was actually a 7 cast equipment, which kind of sucks, but oh well, it is what it is. The next ability you're going to try to focus on is Dinner Time, which I just didn't do because I already had leveled this up for the previous build. And then Banana Frenzy is the final ability that you want to level up for this build. You just ignore Primal Power completely. The 4th unit in the build is the Lich King. This is the spot that I most tested out different units for. I ended up settling on him because he's another red unit for a deck that's weakness or a bunch of green units. The equipment that you're going to want to use is Frostmourne, which luckily for us actually comes at fully leveled up. And then for the actual skills, it's basically just level up whatever you actually need given the current meta. Frost Shield is something that I would have loved to level up more, but I didn't have enough coins to do it, which is why it's only rank 2. Death Coil is a really good ability to actually scale with your Shadow synergy later in the game. Then Frostbite allows you to just permanently slow your opponent so you can actually get your abilities out quicker. Overall, I would say this is a relatively strong tank for the team, even though I included it late into testing. The 5th unit in this build is Natalie, as that shouldn't be a shock to anyone because she kind of serves as the physical representation between the idea of a holy build and a shadow build. For skills, her last unit is the most important, along with the final equipment that you unlock, as this will allow you to switch between the 2 effects of your last skill as much as humanly possible, and also allow you to combo out with Vol'jin every single turn, and even sometimes pull off a 60 heal with Velen if he somehow survives to this late in the game. For leveling up, you're going to focus on this last skill, as this will be your main scaling point when it comes to leveling up Natalie. And because of the fact that her equipment comes fully leveled, you don't actually have to worry about that. So the other ability that you end up leveling instead is the Shadow Beam, as this sometimes actually comes up, but for the most part it usually doesn't, and Light Beam usually just never comes up. Overall, she serves as a nice late game tool to actually help you survive. If your opponent doesn't actually use any green units, you can put her in 4th instead of Lich King, as this will allow you to actually combo her out with Velen and Anduin quicker. But if not, you can wait until after Lich King dies to put her out, and then hopefully by then your other minions will be kind of low, and you can actually play Vol'jin pretty quickly after you put out your Natalie. The final unit for this build is Vol'jin, which should be a shock to no one, as this is the powerhouse behind any shadow-based team, as it both allows you to scale your quicker than any other shadow-based unit, and it also allows you to make your shadow-based abilities and most other units in the game. For leveling up, you're going to want to focus on the Ring of Haste. It's a 7 task equipment. Skill usage wise, you're usually using Curse of Weakness on most turns, followed by either a Shadow Shock if you want to make your opponent forward slower, or a Shadow Surge if you actually misalign your shadow-based spells between Natalie and Vol'jin. You can also use Shadow Surge in combination with the Death Coil of the Lich King as a way to combo that out. For general use, however, Curse of Weakness is the ability that you're going to be using the most, and thus the ability that you want to level up at first. You're also going to want to level up the equipment as quick as humanly possible, probably even before the Curse of Weakness, just because this is what shadow builds actually function. That all being said, let's get into some games. Alright, I'm going to put Velen down first, followed by Anduin, followed by King Mukla, because we don't want the opponent to have any type of cleave where it would actually cleave onto Velen or Anduin. We're facing demons? Well, that's different. Oh wait, this isn't even demons. What the hell is this? I'm going to assume Sneed is the problem here, but I don't actually know what this build is. What the hell is this build? Oh, we're going to Velen, then Holy Nova, then attack, and then attack, I guess. I don't... That's fine. Sure, we can't get a full board clear, but I'm so confused. I don't know what this build is. Okay, I'm gonna do that, attack into that, and I guess that. Is this just an anti-healing build? Is healing that big of a deal right now that people are doing anti-healing builds? The last two have to be Diablo and Karen, right? Or not. I have no idea what's going on with this guy's build. We're gonna AoE everything, I guess. What was the synergy in this? I feel bad for even, like, going against this opponent. Am I that low elo now, since I haven't really done PvP in a while? Oh, I guess we win. Alright, let's start with the normal combo of Velen, Anduin, Mukla. If you asked me a week ago if I knew what each individual combination of mercenaries my opponent would do, I probably would have actually known, but now I haven't actually faced the same build consistently yet. What the hell is this combination? So we're gonna try to focus down the Samuro, I guess. Is this like a buff Samuro the build, or buff random unit on the bench the build? Of course all the bananas hit the units that don't actually use them. AoE. Mukla should be quicker than Samuro, I hope. Please? I beg? Samuro seems to actually be a big weakness for this deck. Ironically, when I was playtesting it earlier, the only mercenaries that I was running into was Shadow Beast, and now it's all Samuro again, which I don't know if I should be frustrated or not. Okay, so we are quicker than Samuro this time, thankfully. Though we can't kill the Samuro this turn because it protected itself. Just gonna keep trying to kill Samuro. Anduin dying is kind of fine, I guess. Let's put Natalie out since we still have King Mukla. Cairn, that's fine. Let's do it like this. Nice thing is that double doesn't have to be the same turn, and we can just use Vol'jin. Stupid Diablo. Alright, we're gonna... Oh, we're out of whack. Well, let's make Diablo slower. The double heal would have actually been better than what we got there, but oh well. So we'll do that, and then we'll do that. We should be able to board clear them. I don't think Diablo's going to be quicker than us. We got rid of Diablo, which is the key threat against us. They only have 2 red units left, so that's fine. Ragnaros. Color me kinda shock. Again. Oh, they gave up. Alright. Normal setup time. Oh, it's the same person as last game, so it should be the same build, right? Still gonna go after the Samuro first. I got nothing else to do besides that anyway, so... Oh, actually, the smart idea would be to kill Big Brother with Velen and Anduin. He's going to go after the Velen this time. That actually makes more sense, but it's not going to really help him that much. Going to AoE. Still going to put up the taunt just in case he decided to change his strategy. I should have changed mine once I realized it was the same build. Ah, he's going to heal this time. And he's going to do the same strategy. That's not a shock. Let's AoE that, attack it, then attack it. I'm actually kind of scared. He could kill the Velen, but even if he kills the Velen, he should be fine, I think. We technically don't need Velen, but he is nice. Okay, just going to put Lich King down. Gain a taunt that way. Then, might as well. I have a sneaking suspicion he's going to immune himself here. Yep, I'm not shocked by that. That's why I didn't put up 2 taunts. That Samuro is really buffed though. Karen's going to be buffed. We're still going to go after Samuro. I need to kill that. I can survive everything else. I just need to kill Samuro. Okay, we got the Samuro down. It's going to be Diablo, right? I literally just faced this guy in my brain. Yeah, okay. AoE, slow Diablo, attack Diablo. Now we're into endgame. That, gonna do that, gonna do that. I probably should have actually focused down the Cairn first. Oh well. Alright, so what are the last two? Oh, right. Cairn revives. Right, it's him. Heal, AoE? I should kill Diablo, I think. Gonna kill Diablo. We should be fine. He didn't realize Anduin's probably the biggest threat. Because Anduin definitely does make it easier to win. Normal situation. Fire? Is he going to be fire again? I don't know what this is. Oh, actually. Let's kill the anti-healer. Because if we don't, this could be very bad very quickly. Every time. It's so uncommon that it actually lands on himself. AoE. We're going to put a taunt up. I have a sneaking suspicion Mukla's big brother is going to be dead. Well, I guess it doesn't actually matter. Only one that actually attacks is Lich King. Yes, I know we can't heal. That, and it can't attack anyway, so it's not going to even matter. Yeah. Heal. AoE. We should be fine, I think. They're either going to put Tavish down or Diablo and Cairn. I'm not shocked. Can't get to the Diablo. Making this slower is funny though. We have so much HP, it actually isn't as bad as I thought. That freezing that though is not good. I'm being greedy here, but we'll see. The good news is I don't think the Diablo can repeat itself here. The bad news is I don't know if we can win from this position. I'm curious why you run Vol'jin in this comp though. Yeah, I don't care if that's slower. You can AoE and then kill Karen. Maybe we do win. AoE, AoE. I don't know if this is enough damage this turn, but it should be at least enough damage next turn. Unless the Fire Stomp gets through before the Shadow abilities, but I don't think it's going to. Yeah, we win. That's good, actually. Alright, now that we're through the games, I hope that gave a good overview of how the build functions and how to actually play it. However, I would say in the current meta state, it's probably not the best build to actually play because the defining units right now are both Diablo and Tavish, until those two kind of see some nerfs, along with Samuro as the other green minion that's seeing a lot of play. I don't know how useful this is going to be. This build actually just plays the War of Attrition if they don't deal with your Anduin really quickly or with your Velen really quickly. But if an opponent knows to deal with the Anduin before the Velen, then you usually just lose the matchup. There are some cases where you still can pull it out by getting like a double heal off of Natalie, but for the most part, that doesn't really happen that often. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, bye bye.